Hello and welcome to the 6-Minute English Podcast, fun, clear, and easy to follow English practice.
Remember to like this video and subscribe, so English can be part of your daily life.
Did you know that chocolate has a super long history? Like, way longer than you'd think.
Really? I always thought it was a pretty modern treat. Tell me more.
Well, it actually started out as a drink, not a bar. The ancient Mayans, around 2,000 years ago, were the first to cultivate cacao beans.
Wow, 2,000 years ago? That's incredible. What did they do with the beans?
They ground them up and mixed them with water, spices, and chili peppers to make a bitter, frothy drink. It wasn't sweet like the hot chocolate we drink today.
Chili peppers in chocolate? That sounds interesting. So, how did it become the sweet treat we know and love?
Much later, when the Spanish conquistadors arrived in the Americas, they brought cacao beans back to Europe in the 16th century.
So that's how it got to Europe. I always wondered about that.
Exactly. And over time, Europeans started adding sugar and other ingredients, eventually leading to the creation of solid chocolate.
That makes sense. Sugar definitely changed the game. So, when did chocolate become popular?
It took a while. For a long time, it was a luxury enjoyed mainly by the wealthy. But with the Industrial Revolution, chocolate production became much cheaper and easier.
So mass production made it available to everyone?
Exactly. And that's how it became the popular treat it is today. There were so many innovations, like the invention of the conching machine, which gave chocolate that smooth, melt-in-your-mouth texture.
I never knew that. It's amazing how much history there is behind something we take for granted.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about a couple of useful phrases from our conversation.
Sounds good. Which ones did you have in mind?
I was thinking, way longer than you'd think, and that makes sense.
Good choices. Way longer than you'd think is a great way to emphasize the unexpected length of something.
Exactly. You could use it in other situations too. Like, this movie is way longer than you'd think. Or, the line at the post office was way longer than you'd think.
Perfect examples. And, that makes sense, is a useful phrase for showing understanding or agreement. It's a simple way to acknowledge what someone is saying.
Right. It's a good alternative to just saying, okay, or, yeah. It shows that you're actually following the conversation and processing the information.
Definitely. It's a nice way to keep the conversation flowing naturally.
A quick tip for using "that makes sense," try varying your intonation a little. Sometimes a flat "that makes sense" can sound a bit dismissive.
That's a great point. A little bit of inflection can make a big difference.
And for way longer than you'd think, try emphasizing way to really highlight the unexpected duration.
Excellent tip. It adds a little more emphasis and makes it more engaging. So, to recap, way longer than you'd think is useful for emphasizing duration, and that makes sense is good for showing understanding.
Exactly. They're simple phrases, but they can really enhance your conversations. Now, imagine you're talking about the history of pizza. How could you use these phrases?
Let me see. I could say, the history of pizza is way longer than you'd think. It actually dates back to ancient times. And then, If someone explained the origins, I could say, "That makes sense, considering how widespread flatbreads were back then."
Perfect. See? You've got it. Practice using these phrases in your everyday conversations and you'll be sounding more natural in no time.
Great advice. I'm definitely going to try that.
Thanks for listening to English Boost. Remember, practice a little every day and you'll see big results. See you in the next episode.